Women are constantly told that after motherhood, we become invincible. But I made a decision that I wasn't going to disappear emotionally, physically, financially, or aesthetically. Just because society got uncomfortable with women evolving into motherhood and decided that their earning potential, their value decreased, minimizing our identity to only being mothers. Becoming a mother made me dangerous, and here are the 5 things that I do to remain visible and paid. Not for male validation, not for attention, but because I believe that women deserve to truly exist at every stage. Also, comment mother if you already have a business, you're already building a personal brand. I'm really curious to know. The first thing that I had to do was a mindset shift to believe that I could make money outside of my 9 to 5. I had to uncouple and realize that 9 to 5 jobs are not only racist to women of color, that's a whole different video for another time, but are also discriminatory to mothers. When I got pregnant, the plan had always been to go back to work because my career was my identity. I couldn't fathom who I was or how I could make money outside of my job, so the thought never even crossed my mind. Until just 3 weeks after giving birth to my daughter while I was on maternity leave, I realized, how was I ever going to build wealth if I couldn't control my pay? I couldn't control my time because I had to clock into work. I couldn't control how I was going to move up the system. And as somebody who had been previously promoted a few times, it's only so far that you can be promoted, not only as a woman, but also as a woman of color. You can negotiate your salary only a number of times. And where I was working in the public sector, there were salary caps that you can only earn a certain amount, regardless of how long you work there, regardless of your experience and your expertise level. And it was that bitter realization that my money would always be controlled if I worked in a 9 to 5. No matter how many times I negotiated, no matter what new certification I had, no matter what new training I did, my salary was always going to be capped. And I asked myself, how was I going to build wealth? How was I going to build the life that I wanted for my daughter if I couldn't control my own finances? And it was in that moment that I decided to hand in my resignation during my maternity leave to become an entrepreneur. It was no longer optional for me. So that's how I started my coaching business. I signed my first client, then my 10th client, scaled my business and my offers, and I've been able to make my yearly salary in a month because I decided to take my earning potential into my own hands. The next thing I did to be visible and paid after becoming a mother was to look the best I've ever looked. I refused to lose myself in motherhood. Now, although I did put on weight after giving birth to my daughter, something I'm actively working on to lose weight and also to tone my body, my confidence when it comes to my body image actually grew after becoming a mother. I found my personal style, my signature look, and I really stepped into the woman I'm becoming. When you become a mother, there is a shift that happens inside of you where you're no longer the same woman that you were before you gave birth. I couldn't really put into words exactly what I was going through and exactly what I was feeling, but it was like I was getting to know myself again. I was rediscovering who I was, what I liked, what I didn't like. My core beliefs were changing. The way that I viewed the world and other people also changed along with it. And instead of trying to fight it, I leaned into it. I went to therapy. I grieved my old identity. This was also the birth of my femininity journey. And although these were all inward changes, it naturally extended to the outside, the way that I looked, my makeup, my skincare, my hair, the way that I dressed, the way that I carried myself, the way that I spoke. And that's when I discovered my feminine editorial personal style, my color season, my signature hairstyle, which has had a massive positive impact on my personal brand. People easily recognize me online because of my hairstyle, because of the way that I do my makeup, the colors that I wear, the type of clothes that I wear. I've attracted the right audience and buyers for my business. And that's why I'm always talking about leveraging your beauty online, monetizing your beauty, and how beauty is social currency. Just because you become a mother doesn't mean that you now lose yourself, you let yourself go, or the way that you look doesn't matter. Not only is beauty your unfair advantage when it comes to building a personal brand and making money online, it's also part of your self-care, looking after yourself, putting yourself first, and pouring into yourself. The next thing I did to be visible and paid after becoming a mother was to actually be visible online. I had always wanted to be on social media ever since I was 20 years old, but I always had a fear of being seen, a fear of being judged, and a fear of being perceived. It wasn't until I was 30, before I even had my daughter, that I started showing up online, creating fashion content, body maintenance content, and also luxury content. It was more of an escape for my really stressful big girl job. But when I made that decision to hand in my resignation during my maternity leave and to become an entrepreneur, I knew that in order for me to become successful and actually make the money that I wanted to make, I actually had to be visible. I actually had to allow people to see me. So instead of just sharing superficial generic content of fashion, lifestyle, and beauty, which are things that I really love and I'm passionate about, but I didn't want to be an influencer, I started leaning into my identity, sharing who I was and parts of my story that were relevant. And that's how my platforms and my business started to grow, because people don't just want information, they want transformation. And that transformation is relayed through your identity, through your story, what you've been through, what you've accomplished, and the challenges that you have faced along the way. Becoming a mother forced me to become the woman that I kept on talking about, to follow the dreams that I kept on dreaming about. I don't just think or daydream about my dreams anymore. I move, I show up, and I follow through, because there is no hiding when you have someone who's learning from every move that you make or you don't make. What kind of role model did I want to be for my daughter? And for me, it was somebody who showed up, somebody who followed their dreams, somebody who was consistent, who felt the fear and did it anyway. And that's how I was able to confront my fear of being seen. The next thing I did to become visible and paid after becoming a mother was distancing myself from people who no longer aligned with my vision. Because the reality is, you are who you surround yourself with. Even when you feel like you have your own identity and you're not influenced by other people, there is something that happens on a subconscious level when somebody's telling you that it's too risky to start a business, that they would never show up on social media, how cringy it is, how embarrassing it is, how they talk about other people who are showing up for themselves, people who are trying to build something for themselves, people who have stepped away from the status quo. You might think that your thoughts are your own, that it's not the right time, that you don't have the time, that you're not capable of doing something like that it's too risky, that it's not possible. And yes, your own fears are present in your thought process, but other people's thoughts, mindset, opinions are also intertwined in those decisions that you're making. I wasn't surrounded by anyone who wasn't working a 9-to-5. I didn't have any real life examples of successful entrepreneurs. I was surrounded by people who were dreamers, people who wanted more money, a bigger house, nicer car, better experiences, but no conversations about how they were going to get those things. And even if they had the idea, that either never started them or never followed through. So I knew that being the first to build something of my own, to being an entrepreneur, meant that I had to distance myself from the people who didn't have that same vision. There were seasons where I was a lone wolf, figuring things out on my own, having conversations with God, learning, teaching myself, showing up, all while being in isolation. It's not always easy to find like-minded people, people who have the same vision as you, people who have the same drive as you, people who are action takers. So it's okay to have seasons of isolation. It's okay to do things on your own and figure things out on your own until you find those like-minded people. The next thing I did to become visible and paid after becoming a mother was to stop working like a man. I'm an ambitious, driven, self-motivated type A, who worked in a very fast-paced career, which meant that I was unintentionally and unknowingly leading with my masculine energy, which works in those types of environment. And aside from wanting to make more money, one of the reasons why I decided not to go back to my working environment was that I realized that the way that I was working was very toxic. It wasn't healthy. It was not conducive to me as a woman. Because the fact of the matter is, men and women are different. We are built differently. And society and workplaces are built in favor of men. Men have a 24-hour cycle, which means they don't need a lot of time to be able to rest, recalibrate, which is why they're able to go, to be action driven. They thrive on competition, working harder, hustling, grinding. Whereas women have a 28-day cycle, which has 4 different phases within that and 4 different energy levels, which is why sometimes it feels like you have 4 different personality in 1 month. I started taking the feminine principles that I was learning in my day-to-day life and the way that I carried myself and adopted it into my business. Not to be lazy and not do any work, because we do need masculine energy in order for us to get things done, in order for us to strategize and come up with great ideas. But it's about balancing that feminine and masculine energy so we are working in a way that's conducive to us as women, especially as a mother, where you are the main carer. You do all the feeds, the bath times, the school runs. It isn't practical to think that you are going to be able to pour the same amount of time and energy into your business every single time. And I go into more detail about my soft life system in my soft life system that I use to run my business without me video, which I will link somewhere there. The message here is that your life does not end when you become a mother. In fact, I believe that my life began when I became a mother, and you are actually in a better position to make more money and build a life that you can't stop dreaming about. Like this video if you want to see more videos on feminine business and quiet money. Subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, lovelies.